All right, the New England Patriots just made, honestly, a big statement, and it wasn't even them that actually said it. It was Albert Breer, and he gave some insight into the Matthew Judon trade. And look, we're at this point in the preseason where it's like, basically we're down to injuries, and that's about it. The third preseason game, people aren't playing much, all that kind of fun stuff. But there was a little tidbit here with the Patriots, and I want to let you hear that in just a moment. I want to let you hear exactly what he had to say about how the Patriots were just sick of Matthew Judon. And that brings something interesting. But after we listen to that clip, I want to talk about the changing of the guard. I want to talk about the reality of where we're actually sitting when it comes to the New England Patriots and what you can be looking forward to this year and following. Because this trade and the way they're doing it says two things about where they're going forward. So first, let's go ahead and take a listen to this, and then we'll go from there.
Judon was not as well liked by the coaches and front office people as you might have thought. And that was really part of it at the end, was that they were just sick of him. They felt like there was the public facing Judon, and then there was Judon behind the scenes. And Judon behind the scenes had sort of become a little bit of an operator, and his act had worn thin with people inside the building. So wow. And it's something that was an issue in Baltimore too, quite honestly. So it's not saying he's a bad guy, but there was some of this, again, like this sort of cheerleader stuff on social media that a lot of people in the organization would roll their eyes at. And then when he became a problem this summer, there was, all right, like, what do we do to move him off the roster now? Because we're trying to build a new program, and we don't want this hovering over us. So I think there was a little bit more to the Judon trade than just the contract situation. How's that for you, Mike?
Like,
yeah, better. Okay, better.
There, is he? Like, that's pretty clear. Like, his act had worn thin. I mean, there's some pretty heavy reporting there saying there is Matthew Judon to the public, and then there's Matthew Judon behind closed doors. And I think every player, every person, to an extent, has what you do behind closed doors and what you do in the public. But this is still around the team. This isn't like in the privacy of his own home or anything like that. This is like the team. So we're going to get into this. But before I do that, if you're a big Patriots fan, move your way over to Sports Talk Patriots. We have Aaron over there doing a great job reporting on the New England Patriots every single day. We'll still talk about the Patriots here on this channel every once in a while because we love football and we think they might have something special here with Drake May and what this young team could do, but he is going to be having this stuff every single day. So let's talk about this Matthew Judon and what it means for your team, because I don't want to talk about Judon anymore. He's gone. All right, they traded him to Atlanta. He's gone. So the 32-year-old is out of here. So what does that leave? What is left behind to pick up the pieces? And I think that's the question that everyone wants to know. Well, basically what's left is two really young edges. You have Keon White and Josh Uche. Now, I'm going to talk on each of these guys a little bit. I'm not saying they're the only ones that are going to play because other people will. But let's just focus on these two guys for a little bit. We'll start with Keon White, a little less known, but he was the second-round pick in the 2023 draft. And last year, in his rookie season, he put up decent numbers. He was pretty darn good against the run, so he proved at 6'5", 290 that he could set the edge. He showed that he could be one of those players that you can play on every single down. But now what you're hoping to see out of him moving forward is that he can be more of a pass rushing presence as well. Now, might be strength. It might be a bull rush. We'll see what that looks like. I just want to see him start to get pressure on the quarterback so that it opens up and you can't just simply double team on the other side on Uche all day. All right, he is a player. He played over 500 snaps last year, and honestly, there were some good things that happened. There were some good games. He played great in Week 16 against Denver. He played great in Week 17 against Buffalo. These were games where he really did, like 4 tackles, 3 tackles. That's a lot from an edge position. And not only that, but he impacted the game in a lot of different ways. He impacted the game in a lot of ways. He had a couple of quarterback hits in those games, a couple of quarterback hurries. That's what you want to see from him. Now, if you go over to the other side and you look at Josh Uche, here's the thing. Uche was drafted in 2020, right? Keon White was drafted in 2023. They're the same age. They're only a few months apart in their age. So these are two guys, both at 25. They have a ton of tread left on the tires. Both guys were second-round picks, and now they will get to show that they are ready to come in and be that every down player. Now, here's the thing. Josh Uche, what he was really good at, he proved that he was really good in 1 year across from Aiden Hutchinson at Michigan. Now what he has to prove is, can he be the guy? Now, 2 years ago in New England, 2022, 12 sacks on only 373 total snaps. That was insane. He didn't get that same type of production off of a similar amount of snaps last year. Can he have a bounce back year now that he is more the guy? Can he have that bounce back year? So that's what it looks like right on the edge. I think Uche can do it. I really do, right? We look at injuries. We look at things like that. I think he can be a good player. But let's take a look at this team, all right? Because when I look at this team, don't get me wrong, it was a very good defense last year. And I think it's going to be a good defense this year. I really do. I think they have a lot of players that are good players. I get that. Here's the problem. Christian Barmore already has the blood clot things. It was very unique, right? Tavai is getting old. Sione Takitaki is on the pup. The writing was kind of on the wall here already. And then you look at this offense and you have to ask yourself, is this an offense that is good enough to win with a really good defense? And I think the answer was probably maybe if Jacoby Brissett was showing some competency. He hasn't thus far in preseason. Drake Mays looked much better in preseason, and grain of salt, it's preseason. I get that. But we know this offensive line has had its struggles. What if we just take a year and we don't rush it? And instead of paying a ton of money to a 32-year-old that's becoming a problem in the locker room, how about we just say bye-bye? How about we just say bye-bye to him and we let the young guys play? Let's see if Josh Uche or Keon White, I was reading Wise, the next one, or if somebody else, somebody can step up and be the guy. Can they be another guy that will work in this defense so that they don't have to go out and spend a ton of money? So that they can stay young and then they can draft for the offensive line next year, maybe get some help at wide receiver and focus on offense. The defense is there. Now let's do some offensive work and surround Drake May so that he can actually be comfortable playing football. Now you don't have to force him in. He doesn't have to have all this pressure on him of you must win now. All right? And I'm not saying the team can't win. They can. They absolutely can. We saw it with C.J. Stroud last year with a wide receiver core that we didn't think was anything special. Now all of a sudden it's the best receiving core in football, right? In football, arguably. I mean, the Rams are up there. The Bears are possibly up there. The Vikings are up there. I would even say the Lions, right? Hey, we're Lions fans. I told you that. All right, so what does it look like? It looks like a team that you're going to see, and it's going to be a year-long assessment of what talent are we going to keep and where do we need to move on and improve. It's kind of fun. All right, well, I'm sure we'll be talking about something with cuts, surprise cuts, yay, nay, all that kind of stuff coming up. But again, every single day coverage, Sports Talk Patriots. Make sure you go give it a check out and a subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.